Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell. And of course, joining me on a Monday, Jason Cameron, fresh off another good weekend. It is officially spring break for all the kids and the parents around. We got to move the clocks forward and we got some later nights now. This is kind of the start of the good times around the Lower Mainland, around the city. Could you tell tonight there was later?
Yes, I could a little bit, but here's the thing that I never like about like the time change. I've lost an hour, right? So I wake up and I'm like, all right, it should be 9. No, why is it 10 o'clock? What just happened? Oh,
Yeah.
I lost another hour.
Yeah, it affects people. Supposedly it really affects a lot of people. I don't notice it. I just absorbed it up and it was fine. But I like that it's later, and it starts feeling like really long days now. And that part of spring and summer is what I love the most, I think, where it's light out till 9:30, 10 at night, and you can feel like you have way more energy, I feel like.
Yeah, no, you're right. You do have more energy, and also too now the days are getting warmer because my goodness, well, February was cold.
Yeah.
February was cold. That was a cold month.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah.
I'm quite ready for the weather to warm up and to have some warmer days.
Got some warmer days, yeah. Um, why the hell are you wearing a Russian shirt? What the heck kind of shirt is that? Russian stuff is banned around here. Didn't you know?
What? Okay, all right. First
What
off,
is it?
I just threw on a shirt, and then secondly, yes, it is very Russian. This is one of my favorite businesses or T-shirt makers that I love. Ironhead. I don't
Okay.
know.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
remember
I know Ironhead, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love their T-shirts. Their T-shirts fit me beautifully, and this is one of their T-shirts that they have. I know you're not a fan of Russians right now, but this is a great shirt. This is a great shirt. I know it's a common shirt, but it's a great shirt. And so I love Ironhead. Big shout out to Ironhead. If you want to give me some free merch, please do that. And the T-shirts just fit me beautifully, man. They're really nice shirts.
We just lost our entire American audience. They all just switched off the channel. They don't like commie anything, so we just killed a whole bunch of our viewers. I hope you don't wear that kind of stuff again, because I don't want to offend the democratic nations that we provide our content to.
Yeah. I sometimes I forget Cold War still in effect. So yep, okay. Won't be wearing the shirt again.
Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm watching the Golden State Phoenix game right now. Do you got that on?
No, I don't. I literally just kind of got home and rushed back. So
okay. Golden State's winning 47-28. 10 minutes left in the second. Really putting a whooping on them. Klay Thompson's got 19. Steph has got 12, and JaMychal Green's chipping in with 7. They seem to they're dominating. Obviously Phoenix still without KD, but Phoenix has still got a very deep, solid team. I'm surprised the Warriors are doing this good. Warriors are amazing at home and horrible on the road, but this is kind of a shock. I thought this game would be a lot tighter.
Yeah, I thought the game would be a lot tighter too, but what a freak accident by KD. Warming up for his first home game and turns an ankle on the weirdest, like he's just trying to make a layup and just freakish.
Yeah, he's pretty fragile. He's getting into the Anthony Davis type territory. I've always said he's too skinny for his length, his body, the way he moves. Athletically, he's an absolutely amazing specimen, but I think he needed to put some weight on his legs, on his calves, on his, just to prevent this kind of stuff. It's happening way too much in the last few years. He's missed so much time, and this is going to really hurt Phoenix because he only played 3 games with them when he came over in that trade. It's going to be hard to hit the ground running in the playoffs when he really hasn't played much with them.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but also too in that small sample size, they were 3-0. So
Yeah.
that at least that's good. That's a feather in their cap.
Yeah.
But yeah, KD is just one of those players, though. He's one of those players that you can plug him in and he's like, yeah, we're just going to need you to, figure it out. Or, just do what you do. Score, be incredibly efficient, and help us win. Can you do all of those things? Yes, I can. Okay, great. That's great.
Yeah. You're right, too. I think you mentioned last week, he's the kind of guy that misses a month of time, comes back, and it doesn't even seem like he was out. Even 4 months of time, he comes back and he doesn't look like he's missed a beat. But yeah, I mean, I would be sure disappointed as a Suns fan and part of the organization. You bring him over, you had to send a lot of pieces away, and you've only got 3 games out of him so far. It's tough. But yeah, you're right. Freak accident, warm up. It didn't look super serious, but they say about 3 weeks he's gonna miss.
Yeah, and also too, you know what? It seems to be a thing across the league that it may be 3 weeks, but they'll keep him out even longer just in case.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder, is less more, or is less just less? Like, if you keep keeping these guys out, are they more prone to injury, right?
Right.
Or if you just bring them back when they should be back, like at some point in time, I know athletes, they go through a bunch of bumps and bruises and stuff, but it just seems to me now, especially now in the modern day NBA, that if you got any little tweak, you are out.
Yeah,
you were gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, any nick or bruise, it seems like they're being extra cautious and they're doing that load management stuff, and that's been actually causing quite a bit of concern for a lot of fans. And not that many guys play a full 82 anymore. It's kind of rare where you're like, wow, this guy's a Iron Man. He's played all 82. Holy crap. But I think it's bothering the league. I think it's bothering a lot of fans. And I've heard some athletes say, hey, I don't want to take a day off. What if it's the first time this kid ever comes to see me play and I'm not there in the lineup? That's something that the NBA has to really be aware of, and they have to penalize teams for sitting these guys out, I think.
Well, as especially now, like their TV contracts are coming up.
Yeah.
So if you want that TV money, it's like, if you're one of these execs, you're just going, well, where are the stars? I was watching the game the other day, and no stars played in it. So it's like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah.
What am I actually paying for?
Yeah, it seems like on a nightly basis, you got to check the inactive list. You got to see who's playing or not. I'm quite shocked on a daily basis. I'm seeing questionable, not sure if he's playing or not. You really can't count on him. Dallas is going through it. Both Luka and Kyrie are out right now. That's got to be really brutal for a Mavs fan, because those are the 2 guys that you really pay to see and want to see.
Exactly, right? And I don't remember when we're growing up in the 90s seeing this happen all the time. It wasn't a thing.
No,
it was not a thing. Those guys played. And now, like, I remember earlier this year where I'm like, all right, Golden State's playing such and such. Draymond wasn't playing, Wiggins wasn't playing, Steph wasn't playing, and Klay Thompson wasn't playing.
Oh, geez.
And I'm just like,
that's pretty much like, why bother even watching Golden State if those
watching?
guys aren't in? Why bother even watching? It's like, that's like a college team almost.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, oh, Dante DiVincenzo, he's playing? Great. Awesome. Let's turn it up. What are we doing?
Brutal. Yeah, not good. That game today, it was a splashy game. I'm sure when ESPN, found out their schedule, put the game on, this game was between the Grizzlies and the Mavs today. No Ja Morant, No Brandon Clark, no Steven Adams, no Kyrie, no
Yeah.
Luka. It's like, what the hell? Like, brutal, brutal, brutal. Grizzlies ended up winning the game, but yeah, tough on the Mavs to have both their, the guys that are scoring, your two stars not in there at all. It's pretty bad. Big shocker game tonight. The Houston Rockets beat the Boston Celtics tonight, 111-109. That would have made you a lot of money, I'm sure, if you put some money on the Rockets tonight.
Well, wait. Speaking of load management, so let me guess. Jaylen Brown didn't play. Tatum didn't play. Marcus Smart didn't play.
Yeah, you'd think so, but no, they all played. Jaylen Brown had a phenomenal night, 43 points. Tatum had 28, 8 and 6. 22, 8 and 6. Malcolm Brogdon had 20 points, but yeah, for some reason the Celtics got beat. Who was the big guy? Oh, Jalen Green had 28. Jabari Smith Jr. had 24. And Kenyon Martin Jr. had 20. Rockets, what is that? That's their 16-53 is their record against 47-23. So yeah, that would have made you, I bet you would have made you a ton of money. That's probably one of the biggest odds of the whole year.
Oh yeah, that would have made you a ton of money. And also too, that brings me back to, James Harden saying there's a possibility I could go back to Houston. For that? That's what you want to go back to? Like what?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
sometimes I do wonder about some of these players where I'm like, I don't know where that's coming from. But you get to play with Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Why would you want to leave that guy?
Jesus. Harden, another one of those guys you just constantly shake your head at. Every time he opens his mouth, you're like, what the hell are you saying now? What? You suddenly decide you want to go where? What are you trying to do now? What the hell? The guy's one of those just he's just never happy anywhere, is he?
No. It reminds me of somebody else that we were just mentioning that's unfortunately out with an injury or load management or whatever it is, Kyrie Irving.
No.
I swear it's just like where the wind blows from him. He goes, the wind blew north. I don't feel like playing here anymore. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if you were aware of this, but he went on his Insta and went on a major rant. Major rant. I found it like just intriguing, interesting. Okay. Because here he is on Insta saying, you guys only see me for 3 hours in a day. Not for the other 21. I guess he doesn't count the other 6 or 7 where he's actually sleeping. I don't need to see you doing that, by the way. No. Right. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, you're right. I don't know you, but I do know what you say. I do know how you portray yourself in the media.
Yeah.
And then I gauge what I see for myself in the media about you as a person. I think you as a person is incredibly selfish. Yeah. And that's what I think. But hey, I could be wrong. And also too, I probably am wrong in a lot of respects because I know that he has a lot of philanthropy, he gives a lot of his money away, and yada, yada, yada. But I think when it comes to the team and an organization and just being accountable to said organization and team, I don't know, buddy. I don't know.
No. He hasn't been a great teammate. Tell all the Brooklyn team that. Boston, when he went to Boston, not a good teammate, according to all. Cleveland, I have not heard that he's been a good teammate anywhere. So, that's not what you're supposed to be bringing 3 hours a day to the, your world. That's what you get paid for, is you get paid to be a good teammate so you guys can rise, win the games, and try to win a championship. Every time a team has won a championship, I've always heard what a great cohesive unit we were. Man, we just got along well, and we were able to rise above and take this title. You hear it all the time. And when a guy's not a good teammate, it's usually a bit of a cancer that causes problems and, ends up causing breakups and no championships.
Exactly, right? Because like you need a cohesive unit in the locker room so that you're all like going towards the same goal, which is winning a championship. And as soon as one guy, and a major piece at that, kind of goes the other way, derails the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see that rant. It probably would have ruined my day. I would have been swearing and pissed off, and I would have been texting and telling people, who the hell does this guy think he is? Like, oh man, yeah, he's a strange cat, and I guess he's Dallas's problem for a little bit until the wind blows him some other way.
Exactly. Until the wind blows him some other way. He expects to get a full max deal at the end of this year. Now, he might get that, but it might not be from a contending team. My question is, will he take it? Like, honestly, will he take it from a non-contending team and not take less from a contending team? Because is he in it for the contention of going for a championship, or is he in it for the money?
Yeah.
That will be a very good question that he's going to answer this summer.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. What will happen? Yeah. Hopefully, nobody takes him, and he has to go play basketball in Siberia or something.
Yeah, that's that. Unfortunately, that's wishful thinking. He's too talented. Somebody will take him, but it just, for me, I'm very interested in the price point he gets at the end of the day.
Yeah. Check in on the game here. It's 62-39. Yeah. Big dominating performance. Tell me why, in your opinion, Golden State's so good at home and so terrible on the road.
Okay. I you know what? I think that there's a hangover from their win. Their improbable, you could say almost an improbable win for championship, right? Because you have to imagine getting up and repeating that over and over and over again to go for the push for a championship. It just takes a lot out of you. And I think whenever they play at home, the crowd rises to the occasion and infuses them with energy. And then when they go out on the road, other teams are going to give them their best because those are the defending champs. That's kind of what we're supposed to do. And I don't think they just have the energy to match that when they're on like road games, especially this year.
Well, it's not like, I mean, you're right, that championship did sort of come out of nowhere and it was unlikely, but this team has won 3 other titles in a fairly short time period before. So you don't think they would have learned that lesson from previous championships going forward?
Well, I think they would have, but the other thing that unfortunately was to their detriment was that their young players that they thought could step in and really elevate their team haven't done that.
Right.
And then with the guys being older, there's only so much they can do. They can't play the whole game. They need their role players to be great role players, and they haven't been.
Yeah.
They haven't matched that system. So yeah, that would be to their detriment.
Yeah, it's tough to see James Wiseman playing great, since he's left there, because he just really was not a favorite of Steve Kerr. He just didn't seem to be able to pan out. And your number 2 overall pick is supposed to be a guy that's going to be, a star. He's supposed to be a guy that's going to be in the league on your team for many years to come and really produce what you drafted him for.
Yeah. You're supposed to be, but also too at the same time, Golden State's a little bit of a different team. They expect certain things out of your game kind of right out of the gate, because like they have like a very complex offense that they run, and they expect you to understand the defensive schemes that they're trying to get, and then also too like to defend properly. And I think for James Wiseman, he's still thinking the game as opposed to instinctively knowing the game, knowing where he's supposed to be positionally and stuff like that. So, unfortunately for the Golden State, they couldn't wait on him any longer. They couldn't wait for him to develop. So they sent him somewhere where he's got all the time to develop, because it's Detroit. Do whatever you want to do. It's all good.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's playing well on a very, very lousy team. And so, is that great? I don't know. He's never winning. He hasn't been a winner so far in the NBA, and we'll see what pans out for him in a long career. But Yeah, number 2 overall pick. You got to say he's been a big bust so far, that's for sure. The other guy that's been missing for Golden State, Andrew Wiggins, big loss. He was a solid number 3 scorer, but really good on defense, and a guy that you could put on, one of those wing guys that would score a lot. You would be able to count on him to provide you a lot of defense. Unfortunately, he's had some kind of personal family issue, and they're not even sure if he's coming back this year.
Which is, first off, sometimes real life intersects with your job, right? And then whatever that is that he's going through, I'm sure he would love to have been with the team, but he just can't do that right now. And on top of that, Andrew Wiggins has been just been stellar with not getting hurt. But this year has been a little bit different. He has gotten hurt, and he has missed a significant amount of games due to injury. And then now this thing has happened, and he's healthy. But unfortunately, this is something that he absolutely has to deal with. So it sucks because, they're better off with Wiggins than without him, clearly.
Yeah.
And they could maybe make a run, but, Golden State, they got to persevere and just try to find a way with what they have.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the guy that got for the Wiseman deal, Gary Payton II, is still hurt and still out. That ended up being a pretty bad deal in the end because you're not getting any minutes out of him, and that's been tough. Golden State's up 65-44 and looking like they're gonna get their 27th, I think, home win. I sure hope they could figure it out on the road before these playoffs, and we get to see another run from them. Such an exciting, fun team to watch, and playoff basketball is much better with Golden State in the mix than it isn't.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely it is. And it would be fantastic to see that all the pieces come together for the playoffs. If Gary Payton can get himself right just in time for the playoffs, if Wiggins, whatever his personal issue, is resolved within that time and he's able to come back to the team for the playoffs. Because now, then you're looking at the team going, oh, Golden State could be a problem here.
Yeah. Staying with the West in the NBA, one of the teams that's been shocking the planet is the Sacramento Kings. They currently sit second in the Western Conference standings, playing absolutely amazing basketball. Had a big run recently, and they are still considered a very, very, very massive long shot to win the West and go far. But is this team finally coming together? They're going to make the playoffs, first time since 2006. But is this team finally put the pieces together to go on a nice run?
I think so. The only thing that they need to shore up is, I think their defensive rating, in the league, is down at the bottom. That's not very good. But their clutch points, their points in the clutch is I think they're number 1 in the league. So what they've been able to put together has been so long for the Sacramento fans. They've been waiting for this forever. They've been waiting for a team like this, and now they have it. And they got it through very savvy trades, getting Malik Monk, who apparently the Lakers this guy can't play. No, actually he's really good. He's really good. So they got Malik Monk. They got Kevin Huerter from Atlanta, and he's playing some of his best basketball he's ever had in his whole entire career.
Very good.
And yeah, man, so I just feel happy for the Sacramento fans that they actually got a team to finally cheer for. This last time they were cheering, I want to say Peja Stojakovic was on the team.
Yeah.
Chris Webber. We're talking Mike Bibby. So it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been way too long. It's crazy that the drought has become that long, and it's been tough to be a fan of that team for this long. They're 8-2 in their last 10, 3 in a row. Sabonis is, just phenomenal. He's had the most double-doubles out of anybody in the league this year. He's come in, that was a controversial trade because Tyrese Halliburton, was one of those guys that they were saying was the future, and they bring him in. De'Aaron Fox is, just one of those guys. You mentioned clutch points. I think he leads the league in clutch points made himself, and he's been, such a young guy, but been able to produce and be a leader.
Yeah, he's been able to put it together. Like before, if you left him out on an island unto himself, like his jump shot wasn't reliable. Well, it is now. You can't do that to him anymore. And he has the speed to just go right by you in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, totally. We got a month left in the NBA season. It's going to be amazing. All these games, most teams got about 15 games left, and it's coming down to the stretch. I do like the play-in tournament. Are you a fan of that?
I do, because it gives more impetus for like fans to watch, because it's exciting. It's exciting, and also too, if that's your team and they're on the bottom looking in, and they have a chance to make the playoffs, then then you're more engaged. You're more engaged for the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's fun to see, that there's still basically 13 teams still in the mix in the West, and probably still I guess 12 teams in the East that are still in the mix. So, you're only five franchises, are looking towards next year. All the other ones are still looking towards this year and being in the playoff hunt. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and then also too, like if you're a fan of one of those 12 teams that are looking in, then you're happy, because it's like, man, you're saying we got a chance? Are you saying we got a chance? Yes, we have a chance. So, and that's good. That's what fans would want. That's what I would want for my team.
We're here in Canada. Obviously, the Raptors are Canada's team. What do you see from them? It looks like they're going to be in the play-in tournament. It's, the way it's sort of shaping up, looks like they'll be like 9 or 10, something like that. Do you think they have a chance to advance past the play-in tournament and get into 8th, 7th, and have a shot at at least a playoff series?
I would say yes. They have a shot at that. They definitely have a shot of getting into a playoff series. But then after that, do they have a shot of winning that playoff series? I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know if they have enough pieces to do that as of yet.
Yeah, facing the Bucks or the Celtics, getting out of those play-ins, that's those guys are done. But at least you got a chance at a few exciting games and a chance to say you made the playoffs. The Knicks are having a resurgence. Really fun to watch, and it's good for basketball when the New York Knicks are doing well. It seems to create much more of a buzz North American wide.
Yeah, because the New York Knicks are an institution, and if they're relevant, then everything's better. Everything's better. And then who would have thought that Jalen Brunson would be the man to say, "Oh, well, I guess I'm here now. Let's turn it around." Yeah. And he literally has done that. I know Dallas is now looking at it going, "Man, maybe we should have just paid him the money," because having is the best year of his career, and he has been absolutely awesome. He's been everything that the New York Knicks have wanted for that team, and their midseason trade to get Josh Hart onto that team, excellent trade. Excellent.
Yeah, he's been one of the best pickups from that trade deadline. I don't think many people would have predicted him after all the smoke cleared and all the trades were done. I bet you not. Almost no person would have said Josh Hart is probably the biggest asset any team has got.
Yeah, no, I don't. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But he's definitely had an impact on the team. Yeah. And again, I don't know if you saw the video, but when Jalen Brunson found out that his boy was coming to the New York Knicks, he was ecstatic.
Yeah,
because you want to know why? Not only are they obviously like great friends, that guy is a winner. He adds to your winning element. He adds to that championship capability of your team. That's what Josh Hart brings. And that's what any team would want.
I watched the game between the Golden State Warriors and the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday, and wow, what a hell of a game that was. Golden State ended up winning that in overtime, and Steph looked phenomenal. It was if Golden State had a decent road record, I would have thought, oh, this is going to be the NBA final. This is Golden State and Milwaukee. These are the two teams that are going to meet in the final. Giannis was out for Milwaukee, but hell of a game. So fun to watch. Did you catch any of that one?
I caught some of the highlights. I caught it when Drew Holiday hit the three to go up by 3, and then Steph calmly came down and said, "Yeah, I can do that too, because I'm the best shooter ever."
Yeah,
and he hit the three so they go into overtime. It was great. It's fantastic.
It was an amazing game. So fun to watch, and one of those ones that you like appreciate. A regular season game was it was great to see such two amazing teams. The two teams that have won the last 2 NBA championships getting to face each other. Golden State has won their last 8 at home and lost their last 8 on the road. So I just do not understand how this team has been able to do that. It's really weird. I hopefully can figure it out. And yeah, we can see them go on another run because yeah, NBA, the playoffs are so much better, as I said, with them in it. One other thing, Ja Morant has been out for 4 games now. They say it's going to be a bit longer. Is this good for everybody involved really? Having him out this long to try to figure out what's wrong and change the course of action.
Well, I think it is. I think it's necessary because clearly what he's been doing lately, not great for the team, not great for him, not great for anybody.
No.
So whatever head stuff that he needs to get figured out, whatever counseling he needs, I'm sure he's getting it right now as we speak. And also too, there's a lot on the line here. I think he's now finally realizing, if I don't clean this up, I could lose everything.
Everything, yeah.
Everything. And I think he's gotten to a point where he's like, man, I really like this lifestyle. That would really suck if it went poof.
Yeah.
Gone. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to scare you straight for sure. It's got to make you really make a pause. Supposedly he's entered a counseling program, and they've said there's no timetable for him to return, but I expect, it'll still be another week or 2 before we see him back. I think he'll be back for the playoffs, but hopefully he can get all this sorted out because it's been really tough to witness.
Yeah, it's been awful because I, as a fan, would rather see him on the court than hear about all the other nonsense that literally has nothing to do with basketball.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it has everything to do with the person and the man, Ja Morant. So I would love to see Ja Morant figure that out, get his head right, so I could see him do awesome stuff on the basketball court again.
Yeah.
And that's me being extremely selfish.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. You mentioned Ja Morant and this stuff personality wise. I'm turning to the NFL briefly. Today was free agent frenzy, and we're going to go over some of the deals that were made today, but I just want to talk about a guy that I just think less of and less of year after year. Aaron Rodgers just has become a complete jerk, and the guy just does not have any disregard for anybody but himself. He's got Green Bay over here, not sure what they're going to do. He's got New York Jets over here, not sure what they're going to do. Basically, most of the teams are like, well, we're kind of waiting to find out what Rodgers does so we know how to counteract that, what to do here. What is his problem? Why would he hold 2 franchises hostage, ransom right now? Not sure. I'll let you know soon. He's just, every year I just feel like I get less and less of a opinion of him, And I just would rather see him retire and just get out of here because I'm sick of him. I am really sick of him.
I think a lot of it has to do with ego and power. I can do this, so I'm going to do this. You're going to have to wait on me hand and foot because I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's not somebody that you want around, do you? Does the NFL want him around? I think everybody would be happy if he just says, "I'm hanging him up. I'm gone. See you later." I think it would be better.
Well, here's the thing, though. He's still pretty good at quarterback, and talent speaks. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of your personality or your bad characteristics as a person, as a man, you got talent, whatever, they'll put up with it, right? But as we're getting along later on in his career, is that talent still there? Is it beginning to wane?
I hope
because
so.
then once that begins to happen, the power that you had is going to dissipate and disappear completely.
Yeah.
So maybe this is one of his last times where he gets to exercise said power before his talent and everything that he does on the football field begins to slightly begin to erode and diminish.
Yeah. Where does that ego and power hunger come from? What is that something that we've fed into? We've created this monster? Has he always been this way? Where did it come from?
I think sometimes it's obviously stuff that's fed into. I think it's all, and maybe for himself, it's the inner circle of people that he surrounded himself with. I don't know who those people are, but they could all be yes people.
Yeah.
Yes, right? And that would just further serve your ego. If you don't have anybody telling you anything bad, but everybody just tells you everything great, like you're the best, you're the greatest, and then you keep hearing that for, I don't know, a decade. All right, well, I am the greatest. I am the best. Cool.
Yeah. I guess you start believing it. Yeah. It's too bad that Green Bay doesn't say, before free agent frenzy, we need an answer. We need to know if we're moving forward without you or with you. We need to make some moves. Now you're hampering their ability to make moves to complement the football team so they can win games and try to get a Super Bowl. If he decides to leave, then they got to scramble. They suddenly have a ton of money that they can spend on free agents, different people, make some trades, whatever. It's just bizarre that he would hamper the team that he's been paid for the past 18 years, and he would not even have any disregard for treating them fairly, because it's all up to me what I decide to do. I could just retire tomorrow, or just said, yeah, I'm with another team, or I'm with you. It's just craziness. I just can't believe that this could just go on and on and on, and he doesn't have any hesitation on acting this way.
Yeah, no, he doesn't, because now this is me trying to step into Mr. Rogers' head, but maybe all he sees is just me. So it's like, well, it's kind of still always about me, and it always kind of will be. And I don't have to worry about these other billion-dollar organizations, because at the end of the day, they need me. I don't need them.
Yeah. We saw it happen with Favre. He went to the Jets as well. Do you think if he does decide to go to the Jets, they make a trade? Do you think the Jets are going to be a good team? Are they going to contend? Are they going to be, suddenly a favorite to go far?
I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I know, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. I don't know if I put him in the upper tier of like the top 5 or 6 anymore. I don't know if I'd put him up there anymore, but he'll obviously make an impact, but I don't know if the impact is going to be that much. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be that much, because also too, since he's like an elder statesman of the game, is he going to make all those sacrifices to get to know his receiving core? Is he going to put in the extra work and the extra practice after 18 years of being on the football field? Is he going to do all of these things? If he's fully invested, he does all these things, then I give the Jets a higher mark of like getting to that place. But I don't know if he's going to do any of that stuff.
No. Yeah, well, he didn't do it. He didn't demonstrate that last year. He had all these new teammates, and he just seemed to not even put that effort in to find out about them, to get to know them, to be a really solid, good teammate, and get in with them. He didn't seem to care. So I don't see it changing just because he goes to a new franchise.
No, I don't see it either. And also too, like, the Jets have kind of had it rough for a while. So I don't see it. I just don't see, like, if the trade is made or the move is made, I don't see him making that significant an impact to that team.
Yeah. Let's finish talking about the NFL after the UFC. Jimmy G's a Raider. Jalen Ramsey's a Dolphin now. Lots of big moves made today. Lots of money thrown around. Last year in the free agent frenzy for that 1 week between March 18th and March 22nd, $1.67 billion were spent. They say we're going to approach something like close to $2 billion this year. So lots of money out there to be had. It'll be fun to see who sends it out and who collects it. I've got a list too of teams that have money left on their cap. So there's going to be some moves made by most of them, if not all of them. So it's going to be fun, but a really good UFC fight night that happened this past weekend. They decided to get it out of the Apex and move it over to what they call the Virgin Hotel now. It used to be the Hard Rock, and I've been there on a bunch of occasions. At first I was looking at it and I was thinking, the Virgin Hotel, I don't remember the Virgin Hotel. And I was thinking, where the hell is that? And then I finally found out that it was actually the old Hard Rock. And UFC has held a lot of events there, and they were great. They were fun. They were way better than the Apex. They're way better crowds. That crowd was actually really fun and brought a lot of entertainment and just electricity to the air that the Apex just wouldn't have delivered.
Yeah. And also too, as I'm watching it, right, I'm thinking to myself, where are they? I couldn't recognize, like, I knew they were in Vegas, but I had no idea where they were, right? Because, like, clearly there's renovations that's been done there. And that's why it didn't look familiar to me whatsoever. So I'm like, I have no idea where they are in Vegas.
Yeah, that was really weird. The crazy thing was there was looked like thousands of Georgian fans there from the country of Georgia cheering on the machine. And Merab Dvalishvili proved that he could be the greatest bantamweight fighter on the planet right now by dispatching Petr Yan, setting a record with 49 takedown attempts, landing 11 of them. He lived up to that machine name. This was the greatest performance I've seen by Merab by far, and one of the greatest bantamweight performances ever by a former champion, one of the toughest guys in the division. This was an incredible performance. And if I was a Georgian, holy cow, I definitely wouldn't have had a voice. I would have been cheering my ass off that night.
Oh, man, dude was incredible. Like, if you think about that, he is one of those guys that, wow, I didn't get him that time for a takedown. I'm just going to keep doing it. Like, I'm going to average 10 takedown attempts per round. Yeah. You know how freaking ridiculous that is? And on top of that, I'm going to give Petr Yan some credit. He fought off like 80% of them.
Yeah.
11:48. He got taken down, but he did manage to pop back up most of the time.
Yeah.
But still, he has to fight that off all the time.
Unreal.
And he's not getting tired. You're just like, what is wrong with this guy? His stamina and his endurance is almost superhuman.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even seem like it's in the realm of actual reality. That's what I was looking at it. I was super impressed with just the pace that he set, and that he never took his foot off the gas. Like, literally pedal to the metal, 5 rounds straight.
It was so incredible. It was one of the greatest performances in UFC history, that fight. A 5-round clinic. He won all 5 rounds. He He threw 400 punches, landed 200 of them. Significant strikes, 147. Landing 11 takedowns is amazing, but attempting 49. The old record was 33 by Cain Velasquez against Junior Dos Santos years ago. It just obliterated that record. This record might never be broken. And it was cool, incredibly cool to watch somebody at that elite level against somebody that's no joke, that's an absolute killer and has been in his entire career. This was just such a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it was. And I didn't think Dvalishvili had this in him. I'm gonna be honest. I had Yan winning this fight.
Yeah.
And then as I'm watching this, I'm like, or not. Dvalishvili was it was a special night for him.
Yeah.
Like where everything came together, everything culminated to an amazing performance on his part. And I'm sure Peter Yan was just like, I have no idea what's happening right now. What is happening right now? I can't do anything with this guy. Even in the stand-up, he's still getting the best of me. Wow.
Yeah. Completely shut his eye. And just got the best of him in every facet of the game. Usually in a performance like this, when the guy this high ranked, immediate title shot, no questions asked, it's done, it's gonna be booked, we know it. But the crazy thing is, he is best friends with, they call themselves brothers, with Aljamain Sterling, the champion. Do not want to fight each other, will not fight each other, according to both. We don't see this too much anymore. We've seen it a little bit over the years on a few occasions, but this is tough. This is tough for the UFC, tough for both guys. He wants to fight for a belt, and he should be getting an immediate shot for, with that kind of performance. But we see Aljamain Sterling next month. I guess it's 2 months away from fighting Henry Cejudo. He's about to fight Henry Cejudo for it. I guess we don't really need to get into it too much because Henry Cejudo could win this fight. And then is Merab up against Henry Cejudo if he wins?
Yeah, immediately. Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. But there's also, I know they were talking about this on the cast, that Aljamain Sterling is thinking of moving up into the other weight division anyways, right? Yeah. So I think if he wins against Cejudo, maybe another fight, and then he's like, I'm out. I'm going to move up.
Right.
And then Merab would be like, and now it's all mine, right?
Right.
And I think it's actually a beautiful thing that those two guys have said, no, we're boys, we're good. It's definitely a sacrifice on Merab's part, but I think Aljo is definitely like, no, that's my guy, and I'm going to follow through with what I've said. Nice. I think he's going to go up because I think the weight cut's becoming more and more brutal for him as he gets older anyways. So I think he's going to go up anyways. So I think that's a thing. And it would be nice to see more things like this, but I understand like the economics of the fight, right? Like you only have a certain window of time when you're at your peak and you're at your best. And when it's gone, it's gone. You might never get it back, right? Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the Aljamain Sterling and the Henry Cejudo fight. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome. But Dvalishvili, after destroying Yan like that, yeah, man, dude deserves his title shot. But here's another thing I was just thinking about. Wouldn't it be awesome if Aljamain just goes, hey, Merab, just take out everybody so that nobody can fight me?
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, yeah, he could. He really could. That's for sure. And I was thinking ahead, if Cejudo beats Aljamain, how cool would it be to see Merab, hey, I'm going to take you out to, avenge the defeat of my teammate. A really good storyline to fit those two guys together. And I'm not sure who wins that. If Merab brings in that kind of a performance, I don't know if anybody in that division can beat him. I don't know if anybody can.
Well, who can keep up with that pace?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, that the pace that he sets is probably the most ferocious pace out of anybody in the whole UFC.
Yeah.
Like I literally don't believe anybody in the UFC can keep up with that guy.
Yeah.
Because once he starts going, he's going, man. And you're just like, oh Jesus. He's
It's
still coming
amazing.
at me.
It's amazing. Yeah, that was one of those incredible performances I'm never going to forget. It was amazing. Yeah, he's got so much energy, and he just kept coming and coming and coming and coming. Um, uh, Now what do we do with Peter Yan? He went from a guy that you thought, wow, he's going to hold the belt for a while. He wins the belt off of Jose Aldo. You think, holy cow, this guy is so talented. He loses his belt on a disqualification because he knees Aljamain Sterling while he's down. And now he's lost 4 out of his last 5. He's reeling in his career. And I did not see this coming for this guy. I thought he was going to win that second Aljo fight. He didn't win it. I thought he beat Sean O'Malley. Nope, split decision loss. And now he's really reeling in his career. Where does he go from here?
Well, I think it's back to the drawing board. Like I first off, I don't think there's any chance of the UFC saying, "Well, you're out. See you later, buddy." No, that's not happening. Right? Sure. Like that's not happening. But at the same time, he's gonna be busted down to the lower ranks and have to build himself back up again. Like, and then that's his reality, and that's what he has to work towards. Because him fighting top 5 guys, that might not happen for a while now, right? Like, I think he's going to have to build himself
up. So the other big fight that's scheduled in this division is Marlon Chito Vera fighting Corey Sandhagen. That's going to be really exciting and fun. I'm not sure what they do with them. I guess it definitely depends on what happens in some of the other fights. Then Davison Figueiredo is supposedly coming up into this weight class. Would that be something that Peter Yan would entertain? Bringing when you brought Davidson up, would you think that would be a good matchup for him to take?
Yeah, I think so, because that could immediately put him back on the map. But it's also a risky fight, because if he loses that fight, ooh, not good. Yeah. Not good. Yeah. So, but I would say that would be a fight that he should definitely think very hard about entertaining.
Yeah, we'll see. Has that become the most exciting division in the UFC right now?
It's up there, man. It's up there. Like, yeah, it's right up there. Because I would say the bantamweight, lightweight division, those 2 divisions are neck and neck. Yeah, I think bantamweight though takes it. My 2 divisions would be bantamweight and lightweight, and I think bantamweight is better right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're bang on. Both those divisions are the 2 best, and I think right now bantamweight's just got so many guys top to bottom, and it's just so many intriguing fights. And Merab was a guy that I thought was sort of on the edge, but with that performance, he deserves to be right near the top now. And yeah, it's incredible. I'm super excited going forward to see what takes place in this bantamweight division and how it moves forward. Okay, how about going through the card a little bit? Why don't we talk about the co-main event? A heavyweight battle between Alexander Volkov and Alexander Romanov. Romanov decided the only way I'm winning this fight is if I take him down immediately. I'm going to get him down and I'm going to win this fight. And when he couldn't, it was over. Volkov was able to stuff the takedown and then just put an absolute beating on him. It was like a big brother beating up a little brother.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. To me, Romanov didn't seem like he was in shape. Yeah. Like, I don't know how hard he trained for this. I don't know what his fight camp was like, but he didn't look right from the onset. I thought, like, even when he shot, it's like he didn't disguise it with any strikes. He just shot from way out. Like, he looked terrible.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, the man looked terrible. And Volkov was just like, oh, oh, this is not going to be very hard. That's great. That's great. It's going to be rather quick. And it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it was really quick, and it wasn't even a close contest at all. I was quite surprised because Romanov came in 16-0. You know, has had a great career. Lost his last two now, and yeah, just did not seem to be even close to being in this match at all. It was one-sided affair. Okay, we had a main event that was supposed to take place a couple weeks ago between Nikita Krylov and Ryan Spann. Krylov got sick and was unable to make the fight, so they put it a couple weeks later. They decided to put it at a catch weight.
Catch weight.
And Krylov and Spann went at it. Even though Krylov was coming off of sickness and wasn't 100%, he said, he made quick work of Ryan Spann. This was also a one-sided affair.
It was exciting while it lasted. Like to see big men like that doing scrambles and going for submissions upon submissions. I went for a submission. Now it's your turn to go for a submission. Now it's my turn to go for a submission. Right. I loved it. I thought that first round was incredibly exciting. And then finally when Spann should have held up for a second, but I think he was lost in the moment and fell into that triangle.
Fell into the triangle, yeah.
Fell into that triangle choke. I think on retrospect, when he looks back at that fight, he goes, man, if I just held back a little bit, I could have been a very different. But, you know, like I think he was rolling with it. He was going with the flow. And then Krylov just goes, oh, he's just going to fall right in my triangle. Ah, great.
Yeah, he's got to be kicking himself because, yeah, you're right. The scrambles were great and fun to watch. And, yeah, he made a mistake and paid for it.
Yeah, he made a terrible blunder. But my goodness, that was exciting to watch for that first round because you usually don't see big men move like Dvalishvili and Yan for 4 rounds. Like I loved it. I loved it.
Nice. Yeah, it was fun. Another bantamweight fight on the card. There was a few this night between Jonathan Martinez and Said Nurmagomedov. I had Nurmagomedov actually winning when it went towards the cards. They gave the nod to Martinez. A bit of controversial decision. I think a lot of people thought Said did enough to win. What about you? When it went to the cards, who did you have winning?
This was a split decision win by Martinez, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I thought Nurmagomedov won, to be honest with you. Yeah. I thought he won. I thought he did enough. Because like the one thing I love about Nurmagomedov's game is his striking is just absolutely on point. And he can hit you with different things, different moves. Especially the high kick, like super fast. But Martinez would game, and especially when he was grappling up against the fence, throwing those knees up in close, and great elbows too as well. Yeah. I guess what the judges saw was in that last round. I want to say Martinez had him up against the cage and was controlling him and throwing strikes, and that was what swayed the judges over to Martinez.
Yeah. Yes, so
but at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, he did that, but it wasn't really impressive.
No.
It wasn't emptying the kitchen sink or anything. So
Yeah. I did not have Martinez winning. It was a razor close fight, but
it's close fight.
Yeah, I definitely thought Nurmagomedov did enough. In the bantamweight fight preceding that, Mario Bautista and Guido Canetti. This was a mismatch. I think it's time for Guido Canetti to move on to another career. He's 10-8, 43 years old. Hasn't been winning much in the last little while. Mario Bautista said, there's levels to this game, and I'm ahead of you right now, and was able to get a really, I think, quite easy submission victory here.
Yeah, it didn't take him long, and once he got Canetti down to the mat, it was pretty much over. Yeah, like, it was pretty much over. Like he was like, you were dangerous on your feet, Now I have you on the mat. Now I'm just gonna gonna take you back, then I'm gonna choke you out, and then we're done. So,
Yeah.
and then that's exactly what he did. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, I think Kennedy might be done here, and he was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 4 wins in a row for Batista and onwards and upwards. We'll see if Guido sticks around. 43, not too many fighters left at that age in the UFC. The fight that kicked off the main card was the fight of the night. This is what you described, the Krylov Span fight. This is what I saw between Vitor Perino and Anton Turkalai. Man, these guys were giving it the whole entire 15 minutes. This was a hell of an amazing battle. Petrino was making his UFC debut, and this guy is so strong, so tough. But so is Turkalai. Man, this was one of my favorite fights of the year so far, and it delivered, being the opening fight on the main card.
I thought Petrino would have had Turkalai out of there in the first round. I thought, and he almost did.
Yeah.
I got to give Turkalai a lot of credit, though. Weathered the storm, battled back hard.
Sure did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing fight. It was an amazing fight. But Petrino definitely separated himself from Turkalai in that third round, where he really started putting it on him and slamming him to the ground with with his grappling and stuff. Yeah, he definitely turned it around. And also too, some of his reverses that he did against Turkalai, even when he had the body triangle on him, still managed to reverse.
Yeah, that was amazing. You don't see guys being able to slide their whole body and spin it right to be on top like that. Those were very impressive. And like you say, once a guy has a body triangle in, you're not moving like that, but he sure did. He's got so much power and ability to spin and get reverses and get on top and get control. This was one of the best UFC debuts I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it was very impressive. Very impressive. The man is built like a house too.
Yeah. Okay, we've got the featured prelim between Carl Williams and Lucas Brzezinski. Do you remember Carl the Truth Williams, the old boxer?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, instantly I'm like, Carl Williams? Oh, I haven't heard that name in a while. Carl the Truth Williams fought for the heavyweight title in boxing. He fought Mike Tyson, and he fought Larry Holmes, and had a really decent long career in boxing. Great to see this new Carl Williams coming in, making his UFC debut, and very, very tough guy. Put on a very impressive performance and got the decision victory.
Yes. Williams definitely had the advantage in the grappling aspect. That's for sure. And he rocked him, Williams, against Brzezinski, I believe in the second round.
Yeah.
Dropped him. And I thought that Williams definitely, he just had control of the fight throughout the majority of the fight, especially with his grappling. That's how he dominated this one.
He landed a really big left in the first round, got him stunned. Second round, it was a really big right. As soon as he got stunned, he just went over, grabbed him, and did a massive throw. That throw was like, whoa. I saw everybody stand. I heard DC and Felder go, whoa. I don't think Brzezinski's ever been thrown like that in his life. And that that showed the power and strength of Carl Williams. That was one of the biggest throws you've ever seen for a heavyweight guy.
It was super impressive, because I think Brzezinski's like, what's going on here? Why are my feet no longer on the mat?
Yeah.
It
was awesome. Yeah. And he won very convincingly. 30-26 on 2 cards, 30-27 on the other. Almost 8 minutes of control time. And he really came in and did great in his debut. I'm looking forward to seeing him more. Okay, in the bantamweight fight on the prelims, we had dangerous Davy Grant down two rounds, going into the third round against Rafael Assunção, 40-year-old veteran that's been around forever. And it looked like Assunção had this victory wrapped up, and all of a sudden, Davy Grant throws up the crazy inverted reverse triangle and gets the victory and sends Assunção out onto retirement with that loss. It was like less than a minute to go, and he had the victory. But Davy Grant, man, what an incredible submission that was, and put him to sleep.
And also, too, to set that up, he got a point taken away.
Yeah.
Just before that happened, right? I think for a fence grab.
Yeah.
So he gets a point taken away. So now since I was like, yeah, I've definitely won now. All
got this. Got this. Yeah.
And then he couldn't do it because Grant landed that right hand, huge right hook, wobbles him, drops him, and then just with the body positioning, he locks up the reverse triangle and puts him to sleep.
Yeah.
Puts him to I couldn't believe. I'm like, that is one of the craziest finishes I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was super impressive. It was actually a spinning back fist that that put Assunção down, and then he just immediately just jumped on him really quick and threw up that triangle. And we don't see that move instituted very much, and we definitely don't see a guy go to sleep on it. It was insane. The referee was right in there looking, said, okay, he's good. Then he lifts his arm and then he goes, no, I don't think he's good. No, it's over. Holy cow. And 17 seconds from the end, Davy Grant pulls out the miraculous win there. And unfortunately for Assunção, 17 more seconds and your retirement fight is a victory. Tough though. Great, amazing career for Assunção. You got to feel a bit sorry for him, but to see that submission move instituted and perfected, it was pretty cool to watch.
Pretty cool to watch, and especially against a man of that caliber, and especially against us. He did it against Assunção.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, though, Assunção has everything to be proud of. Finishes his UFC career with a 28-10 record, 19 years of fighting.
Yeah.
And he was always a pleasure to watch. And hey, I wish him the best in whatever endeavor he goes on to going forward with his life, because he gave us great fights for a very, very long time.
He has a victory over the current champion, Aljamain Sterling. He has fought so many top guys. Listen to the guys that he's fought: Cody Garbrandt, Ricky Simone, Corey Sandhagen, Marlon Moraes, Rob Font. Marlon Moraes actually twice. Aljamain Sterling, he fought TJ Dillashaw, Pedro Munoz, Brian Caraway. TJ actually twice has a victory and a loss with TJ. Has been around so long, and very distinguished career. He can hold his head up high, and he can take over a gym, and the fighters will flood there to be trained by him, because he's one of those legends that you'll never forget.
Yeah, he's most certainly a legend, and it's always sad when the legend hangs it up, but he knew it was time, and he gave us one more great fight before he.
Yeah, I loved it. It was good. Yeah. Okay, let's try to fly through the rest of it. A middleweight fight between Josh Fremd, his second fight in the UFC against a UFC debut, Cedriques the Reaper Dumas. You see Dumas come in, you see the tattoos on his face. He's pretty tattooed around his body. You saw his performance in the Dana White Contender Series, and think, whoa, this guy, look out for him. But Josh Fremd was the more dangerous fighter on this night. Got an incredible win. I was really impressed by Josh. Just totally, I thought really showed his dominance and got a big win.
Yeah, he got a big win. And also, too, what I was impressed by was the tactical acumen of Frem, which was, all right, I'm going to chop away at his lead leg, so he doesn't have that stability to throw his strikes and his punches because he's a kickboxer first, and then eventually, once I wear him down, I'm going to take him to the ground, where he really that's an area where Dumas needs a lot of work, clearly, in the grappling department. And Frem took him to places where he would find the most success because that's where he was dominant against this guy. And so eventually, when he did get him to the ground in the second round, managed to wrap up that guillotine choke. Boom, that's it.
Yeah.
All she was.
Yeah, he was working for it, and finally, once he sunk it in, it was a quick tap, and Chris Tognoni had to stop it, and big win there for Frem. First loss for Dumas. We'll see where he goes from here. Another bantamweight fight on the card. Crazy how many bantamweight fights on this night. A decision victory for Victor Henry over Tony Gravely. I love this fight. This was fun to watch. These guys were very evenly matched, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, they were very evenly matched, but I thought that Henry had the advantage in his combo striking. Yeah. Like, I thought that Gravely was trying to just throw one strike out at a time where Henry was putting together his combos. I thought that was the biggest difference in this fight, and that's what got Henry the split decision win.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that from Henry. His main coach in his corner is Josh Barnett, who is always known for his Brazilian jiu-jitsu and his great submission game. But Henry's was able to really dominate, crazy fast pace, and really, was able to throw lots of combinations and get a very good win over a tough guy, Tony Gravely. Any other things you want to mention on the card? We've got Ariane Lipski. I thought an easy win over JJ Aldrich. Bruno Silva, a submission victory over Tyson Nam.
I was just going to say about Lipski, I thought she's never looked better.
Yeah.
And she was able to keep Aldrich at the end of her strikes and punches. Kept her at the distance she wanted Aldrich at, not at the distance Aldrich wanted to fight at.
Yeah.
And she kept her at that distance throughout the entirety of the fight. And that's why she got the win. And also, too, her takedown defense, impeccable.
That was great. Yeah. And, after losing 3 of her last 4, coming off a loss, the Queen of Violence seems to be back. And, that was an impressive, very, very impressive win from her. Okay, why don't we just switch to this coming Saturday's card, UFC 286 from London. It's an early card, as I mentioned last week. 2 p.m. is when the main card starts. Early prelims at 10 a.m. Pacific and noon Pacific. We've got UFC 286. This is the trilogy fight between Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards. Kamaru had the belt for a long time, as you know, if you're a big fan of UFC. Leon Rocky Edwards comes in. He was losing 4.5 rounds and was not going to hold the belt until he made an amazing head kick move, got a knockout, and holds the belt. And now he's fighting in his home country in front of his home fans and trying to retain the belt. I'm super looking forward to this. If Kamaru brings the same performance he did last time, I think he wins, but maybe because Leon has this victory over him, he has an opportunity to keep the belt and move forward. What do you think we're going to see with this one?
Man, I'm leaning towards we might see the same as what we saw in the first fight. I'm going to be honest. Like, I keep thinking about this fight and thinking, like, what can Leon do differently to stifle Usman?
Yeah.
And I don't know if he can do much. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if he can do much. Like, I don't know if he has another Hail Mary in him, but he's done it once before. And Usman is super aware of that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that he can't do that to you again.
Yeah.
So I think that if there's one thing that Usman definitely has to keep as a reminder is I have to be locked in every second of this fight, because that 1 second I'm not locked in, I won't remember what happened because I will get knocked out.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 You can't sleep on any seconds of the fight because Leon has the ability to put your lights out at any time. And yeah, I think it's, yeah, it might be a replica of what we saw in the first fight. Yeah, I think Usman wins most of the fight, but if he makes one little mistake,
Right.
he could lose this fight again.
Yes, exactly. So that's what makes it intriguing, because Leon knows he can do it. Usman definitely knows he can do it. So yeah, it makes the fight. It's going to be a very interesting watch, and also too, and Leon Edwards camp. I'm sure they've implemented different things to try to stifle Usman, and I'm curious to see what he's going to do that to slow Usman down. But the fight that one fight that I cannot wait to see is the co-main event.
Yeah.
I said it before. I think that's definitely fight of the night. Justin Gaethje and Rafael Fiziev, they're going to go at each other, and they're such high level strikers. And with Justin Gaethje not willing to actually just go to war as much, trying to be a smarter fighter, I think he might have to go to war with this guy.
Yeah.
I think it might be toughest guys left standing type deal.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. He's been trying to stay away from wars because he's got knocked out a few times and he has changed his style a little bit, but I don't know if he'll be able to win with doing that conservative approach because Fiziev is going to bring it to him. So, super excited. Love the matchup. Going to be really fun to watch. I'm also looking forward to the Marvin Vettori Roman Dolidze fight that's going to kick off the main card. I think both those guys are killers, and they're both going to be bringing it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and also too, Roman Dolidze with his superior grappling, and just he figures out ways to get you in like compromising positions with his jiu-jitsu. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do that to Marvin Vettori, but I cannot wait to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be super exciting. The feature fight on the prelims has Makwan Amirkhani, Mr. Finland, fighting England's own Jack Shore. This should be a great battle. Both these guys are super tough, very skilled. I'm looking forward to that. I'm glad it's the featured fight of the prelims.
Yeah, as it should be. That should be the featured fight of the prelims. I'm looking forward to that fight as well. I think that that's going to be a very, very exciting fight.
Yeah. I was disappointed to hear that the Lerone Murphy and Nathaniel Wood fight was canceled. That would have been a great battle. Two guys from the England, but Lerone Murphy is fighting Gabriel Santos to make up for that. We've got Malcolm Gordon on the card, which will be fun. Jai Herbert, Ludovic Klein. Great card all around. And nice and early. We'll be done by like 5:00 p.m. Pacific time next Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be nice and early card, but it's going to be a great card. Yeah. Fantastic card, actually.
I'm pumped, big time. Okay, we had some sad news in the NFL this weekend. Bud Grant passed away. 95 years old, though, had a really long life. He was an amazing athlete. Most people know him from being a coach because he coached for so long, but he was drafted out of college into the NBA and NFL, played 2 seasons in the NBA, won a championship with the Lakers, decided to hang up his basketball sneakers and make NFL a full-time career. Played in the NFL for a while and then was offered more money to come north of the border and play in the CFL. Came up here, played in the CFL, had a really distinguished career, ended up taking over, becoming a coach of the Bombers team that he played for, won 4 Grey Cups here, and then had an opportunity to go back down south of the border and take over the Minnesota Vikings, and was able to lead them to 4 Super Bowls. Unfortunately, they lost all 4, but 4 Super Bowl championships appearances, and a long distinguished career. And he's gone at 95. Lots of amazing tributes poured in from him for him over the weekend, and incredible to see what an athletic career he had, as well as a great coaching career.
Yeah, it's incredible, and also too, he was a winner. How many people can you actually say that's won a Grey Cup and an NBA championship?
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
a very short list.
Very short list. Yeah.
Very short list. And
Yeah.
no, he was an incredible man. And lived a long and just an amazing life.
Yeah.
And the one thing that stood out to me from what you just said there, he left the NFL to make more money in the CFL.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a thing anymore. But
No. Yeah, no, I know. Back then it was a thing, and we did get some great talent to come north of the border, but yeah, that is definitely flip-flopped and big difference now. But yeah, I wonder if what kind of career he would have had down south. If the money was better down south back then. I just wonder, but great we got to have him here, and yeah, he was a legend in both NFL and CFL, and I'm glad we got an opportunity to have him up here. It was great.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic for us that we managed to get such a great man to come up here and play and coach. Awesome.
Yeah, no, he definitely left a very legendary career here, and yeah, had a ton of success. He played offense and defense too. I failed to mention, both in the NFL and CFL. He played on both sides of the ball. He actually got 5 interceptions in one game once.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. I know, it's amazing when you read about some of these old guys and you see all these accolades and see all these accomplishments and stuff. It's just like, what the hell? Like, how does a guy do that much in his career? And yeah, like I say, to be able to play professionally in the NBA, NFL, and CFL is so phenomenal. Yeah, just he must have been this incredible athlete back then.
No, yeah, he was one heck of a stud of an athlete. Like almost, wow, maybe I'm going too far, but like Wilt Chamberlain-esque life.
Yeah.
Because hey, there's not too many people that can just go NBA, that was good, cool. NFL, all right. CFL, like, come on. 3 different professional leagues? That's incredible.
Very incredible, yeah. As I mentioned off the top, it's NFL free agent frenzy week. Everything kicked in. The actual league start of the new league year is Wednesday. All these deals are pending. They were allowed to start talking today and starting to make deals. I think the biggest deal off the top, really, in most people's eyes, was Jimmy Garoppolo leaving the Niners after a long career there, going to the Raiders. He gets a 3-year, $67.5 million deal, $34 million guaranteed. He comes in since 2018. He has the 4th best winning percentage behind only Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. You always said he's a winner. He's a winner. He's just, that's all he does is win. So why wouldn't most organizations want him? 40-17 record in the past 5 seasons, and he's moving on to the Raiders now. A big coup by them, and they didn't have to pay a crazy amount of money. Actually, $67.5 million for 3 years is pretty reasonable for a quarterback these days.
Yeah, that I think is the most important thing, that they can actually spend more money on other positions that need attention and get in a quarterback that has that kind of winning percentage, that kind of pedigree, and at that price point. I think that was the most important thing. So, well, good on them, and hopefully Jimmy G can find some success in Raider Nation.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah, be great. Some other big deals today. Javon Hargrave left Philly to San Fran. He's a defensive tackle, 4 years, $84 million. 40 guaranteed from that. Javon Taylor, the offensive tackle, went from the Jags to the Chiefs. That's 4 years, 80 million, 60 million guaranteed. Let's see. Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle, 5 years, 87.5 million, leaving the 49ers, going to the Broncos. He gets 50 million guaranteed. Broncos also signed a guard from Baltimore, offensive line. Coach Payton is making a lot of bold moves to protect his big asset, Russell Wilson, and finally getting a very, very stout offensive line there. I figured those were going to be some of the biggest moves he was going to make.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense because he's just like, well, once I was looking at, how you guys were playing and saw that you were running for your life, like a lot of it. Yeah, so that needed addressing. And so now that he's addressed that issue, and I'm sure like he's going to change the offensive package and whatever else. I think that was just a very smart move by the Broncos to get him in and to have him work with Russ. And then also too, for him to come in and change the culture or the dynamics of that locker room, which I think needed to be changed as well. I think perfect coach for all of that stuff. Try to fix the things that need to be fixed as quickly as possible. And hopefully the Broncos can get back to winning and the fans can get back to cheering. They didn't do a lot of that last year.
No, it was tough for them. That's for sure. You're right. Yeah. I guess the other big signing had Tremaine Edmonds left the Bills, going to Baltimore. 4 years, $72 million. Yeah, lots of money thrown around, as I mentioned today. It's going to be crazy to see. I'm sure we're going to see tons of deals in the next few days. Those were some of the biggest guys on the free agent market. The other thing I failed to mention with Jimmy G is he's returning to Josh Daniels, who was his offensive coordinator in New England for 5 seasons, and they will be reunited. So that's huge for Daniels and Jimmy G. There was a trade today. The Patriots traded their tight end Jonnu Smith to the Falcons for a 7th rounder, and Austin Eckler has requested a trade out of San Diego. LA, the Chargers. Unfortunately, they can't come to an agreement. He was getting paid $6.25 million this year in his final year of his deal. Wanted more money. I hope they can still figure it out, but he has asked to talk to other teams to try to work out a trade. This will be a big blow for the Chargers. The guy's incredible out of the backfield, catching and running the ball, and has been such a force for them. This would be tough if he went for not another piece similar to him.
Yeah, and also too, like he's a huge red zone threat. Yeah. Like once he's in the red zone, you can count on him to get in for a touchdown. So that would be a huge blow to their offense. It's a shame that they can't come to some sort of financial agreement between the two of them. Because if he does leave, what are you going to replace him with?
Yeah.
Who are you going to replace him with?
Yeah,
that's a big old question mark.
Big hole there.
Question mark you don't want to have.
That'd be tough. Very, very tough. I guess the other talk around the league is what's going to happen with Lamar after the Ravens had given him that specific franchise tag. Now he's eligible to talk to any franchise and negotiate a contract. A lot of teams have immediately said they're out. I don't know why they immediately said that, but a lot of teams have. Do you see someone stepping up and handing him the $45-50 million that he's looking for, and he leaves this team?
I can't see how he's not going to get paid by somebody. Yeah. I honestly can't. Like he's just too incredibly talented. Why would you not want a guy like that? Like running your offense. Like I don't see. Now maybe he doesn't get the exact numbers of the guaranteed contract that he wants.
Yeah.
But So, man, I can't see how we can't get close. You try to tell me that guy's not worth it? I think he is.
Yeah,
I think he is.
I agree. I definitely think he is worth it. And yeah, it's shocking that he's still available and somebody hasn't stepped up and made that deal happen. Yeah, it's crazy because former MVP has had tons of success and yeah, he's one of to me he's a dual threat one of the top quarterbacks in the league. You'd think that teams would be lining up for him.
Yeah, and I think one of the knocks against him, one of the things that's a detriment, unfortunately, is the fact that he doesn't have an agent.
Yeah.
That fact that he doesn't have an agent has scared a lot of teams because they're just looking at exactly what the Baltimore Ravens are going through, trying to negotiate with them, and they're just like, oh, well, that doesn't look like a lot of fun at all.
No.
So
Yeah. This is an interesting graphic here. The last 7 off seasons, the top team in free agent spending has had a bump up in wins every year. Going back to 2016, the Giants were the top team spending the most money in free agent. They won 5 more games than they had the year before. The next year, the Jags were the team. They won 7 more games than they had the year before. The Bears in 2018, 7 more wins. The Jets, 3 more wins in 2019. The Dolphins, 5 more wins in 2020. 2021, the Patriots won 3 more wins. And 2022, last year, the Jags turned it around with 6 more victories than they had the year before. It proves that free agent spending in the NFL is a must and a way to turn your franchise around pretty quickly.
yeah, and also too, like, they have a sample size of the players that they're trying to target. They go, that guy can fit our scheme. He can fit our organization. He can fit our team. So
Yeah.
that's I think there's a formula there that a lot of teams follow that works.
Okay, let's see here. The top teams that have money left in the NFL for cap space: Chicago Bears, over $50 million still in cap space. Atlanta Falcons, almost 45 million. Washington Commanders, 41.5 million. Cardinals, 35 million. And Houston, round out the top 5, almost 32 million in cap space. And the Seattle Seahawks actually are in 6th, 30 million still left in cap space. So expect those teams to make some splashes, get some acquisitions, and make some moves in the coming days.
Yeah. I definitely, when it comes to the Chicago Bears, because them giving up the first round pick and then getting all those other picks along with DJ Moore.
That was an amazing trade. That was awesome. That was an awesome trade.
Yeah, like the GM must have been like, yeah, by the way, I want DJ Moore to throw him in there. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just give you everything. Fine,
Yeah.
take it. Great trade. Great trade.
That was phenomenal. That was one of the best trades I've seen. Yeah, very smart, astute move. They didn't need a quarterback because they decided Justin Fields was their guy.
Right.
So they might as well move down. They only had to move down to 9 and get all those assets in a phenomenal move for them. And that was Carolina blowing it on the last game of the season, winning and giving Chicago #1 overall and messing the whole thing up for that franchise. But yeah, this was a great thing to happen for Chicago, and it's going to help them contend quite soon.
Yeah, I think so. And then plus with the fact that they have all that cap space, they can shore up some things that they need to shore up. Yeah, there could be a very much of a surprise for this next season coming up in the NFL with the Chicago Bears. They could be a legitimate contender going forward.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think you're right. Okay, well, we've reached the end of another podcast. Great chat, man. Great episode. A lot of fun things to cover. And I heard that this is going to be your last week of shooting, so you must be pretty excited. Things are coming soon, so you can get a bit of time off soon. Very, very soon.
Very, very soon. Like I got this week and then next week and then done. So I'm looking forward to sleeping in That's what I'm always looking forward to. Once these shows finish, it's like 60 to 70 hours a week for 10 months kind of takes it out of you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I look forward to just like my body saying, "Oh, sweet, do I get to rest now?" Yes, and then so yeah, I'm just looking forward to like getting a solid 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night.
Nice. Yeah. I've been living that life for the past month here, man. I recommend it for people in film for sure. My body's starting to feel back to normal again, and yeah, I'm glad I don't have that alarm clock at 5:36 in the morning. Hasn't rung for the past month. It's been pretty nice.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that myself. Just got to get through these next 2 weeks, and I'll be right there.
Okay, buddy. Well, enjoy your week. Yeah, let's keep in touch, and yeah, we'll see you soon. We'll see you 1 week from tonight, right here.
Yeah, you got it, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay, thanks a lot. Cheers. Good night.
Night.
Okay, we've reached an end to another great podcast episode. Thanks for sticking in. Appreciate your support as always. And speaking of support, I want to thank our partners and sponsors. I'd like to thank Anchor.fm to start with. Easiest place to make a podcast, phenomenal at posting on multiple podcast platforms for us. If you want to do what Jason and I just did here, please go to Anchor.fm. I want to thank Verbero, the hockey equipment and apparel company, an industry leader in technology, performance, and value. And the V350 stick is a must-have for anyone that plays hockey in your midst. Thank Pampas and Possibilities, designers of West Coast pretty things that you can put in your home, spruce it up, make it look great. And Forever Living, the aloe vera company for health and beauty products. And you can purchase products, as always, on our website, completesportsmedia.com. Yeah, have yourself a great week. Happy spring. We're getting to see some really great weather coming. Today was nice and light late, which is something that I really appreciate. So let's talk soon. Come support us, and we will constantly try to bring as much great content as we can. Love you lots. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.